thrifting ain't easy, unless you're watching me. Welcome back to the Thrift Store Rundown, bringing Hollywood home on a budget. Today we're honoring Women's History Month by profiling some real powerful girls who don't mind kicking some glass ceilings. And if any trio of girls knows how to do that well, it's most definitely the Powerpuff Girls. Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup. I didn't see a lot of the Powerpuff Girls growing up, but I've seen enough and done a few reviews to know that all three of them have definitely earned their place in the Women's History Month record books. Using our ultra superpowers of Hollywood bargain hunting, we dedicated our lives to fighting inflation, the ultimate force of evil for your wallet. But then again, most kids don't know what inflation is. All they're concerned about is saving Townsville from evil. And that's where this Monopoly game comes into play. But not only that, what if I told you if they and you could own a piece of Townsville for yourself? So that way you could call it, just like the narrator does, your City of Townsville. Oh, for $3.99? This thing was purchased for American 30%, by the way. I'm going to do that. It's from Parker Brothers, a division of Hasbro, licensed of course by Cartoon Network and Warner Brothers. So let's get started. Before we go anywhere else, we gotta take a look at this instruction pamphlet first. Monopoly is a pretty complex game to play. You gotta know a bit about finances, and renting and buying and owning your very own properties, Townsville houses and hotels, in this case, to play. But it's so iconic. I mean, this game was born in Atlantic City, New Jersey, and has since taken on a life of its own. But this edition has a couple of extra features in it, like Townsville villains and Powerpuff doubles. Anyway, the one with the most money, the richest player at the end, wins. So that's what you should know. Equipment: the game board, Townsville title deed cards, and dollars and baker's tray. 6 collectible Powerpuff Girls movers, 3 die-cut villain pawns, 3 plastic pawn stands for those, 2 dice, we only have 1, 16 Forces of Evil cards and Hotline cards, and of course buildings and skyscrapers. The buildings are the Townsville homes and the skyscrapers are the Townsville hotels. We'll give you 10 seconds to read from beyond this point. The game rules of play. 10 seconds. And that'll be that. So anyway, all the components are in here except for the other die, and of course one of the character pawns in here, one of the collectible movers, actually broke off of her bottom. I'll show you that a bit later, but let's take a look at the game board first. This is the Powerpuff Girls Monopoly game board, a bit too big for my camera here, but going around the perimeter, you have a chance to own a piece of Townsville, from the harbor and the wharf to the docks, to the Pokeyoke school, mayor's office, pet store, toy store, of course the professor's home. However, you are to pay a fine if you land on fighting in the classroom. You'll be fined $75 for entering into combat in Miss Keen's classroom. I mean, teachers are woefully underpaid. Some of them, as it stands now. Are we gonna start fighting students for fighting in a classroom? I think not. But anyway, this is all of your Townsville money right here. Color-coded. $5, $50, $500, $20, $1 single dollar. This is one of your hotline cards. This alongside the Forces of Evil cards. Definitely add a couple of clever twists and turns to gameplay here. Plus, if a villain lands on an unclaimed property, then you and other players have a chance to fight for that property by rolling both dice, or maybe rolling one twice in this case because we're missing the other one. And if you defeat that villain by rolling 7 or higher, you claim that property for yourself, and the villain ends up in jail. And the villains in here, if we can find them, Mojo Jojo, Fuzzy Lumpkins, and seducer. As for the movers, we'll get them out now. They are as follows. Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup, of course. And who's this guy? Girl, I should say. She was upside down. Miss Keene, who just so happens to be the one who broke off of her stand. So those are some of the movers for you. This is the one and only die in here. This is a Townsville skyscraper. That would be a hotel. And just to show you the other one in here, the Townsville building, it would be a house that you could buy or rent or own. See the difference here? House and hotel. Anyway, just to show you at least one of the villains in here, if we can find him. Those villains in Townsville, they're not so elusive on the show, but why do they gotta hide their faces here? Here's one for you. I believe this is Fuzzy Lumpkins, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, and there he is. My favorite, and I assume yours too. Mojo Dodo! So I think that's pretty much as far as I'm gonna go with this. It's a simple Monopoly game with a couple of clever Powerpuff Girls Townsville twists. I've been over-explaining Monopoly games for the better part of 4 years, I think. So we want to keep this as simple as possible. Anyway, it's the Parker Brothers classic packed with power. Powerpuff power. It can be a bit Powerpuff tough, but take a chance. I think you'll enjoy it just the same. 4.5 out of 5 claps. Once again, your wallet is saved. Thanks to TSR, not to mention 3 tiny titans who know a bit about saving you from a real boring day. Thanks for tuning in. Just so you know, there's no limit to bringing Hollywood home on a budget. Please go ahead and check out another awesome review like this one by clicking here, and make sure you subscribe by clicking here. Until next time, I'll catch you, as I always do, on the flip side.